Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. So I have not been posting recently for the fact that I have been on vacation and for the last couple weeks I've been a little bit worried about my puppy dog. One of our dogs, we came back from vacation and one of our dogs just started acting very strangely and not himself. Like balance issues. He didn't seem to even like recognize us at times. And so it was very alarming for one thing because he's never acted this way before when we've come back from vacation. And yeah, so we were looking up things on the internet, when those kind of things happen to an animal, it's not usually good. And so yeah, it's been a little bit stressful for us for the last few weeks, but we decided that we were going to have to take him into the vet to, really see what was going on and what his symptoms really were. And so the other day, I got a message sent to me, and I know the Lord speaks to me in videos, movies, sometimes songs. And this YouTuber who is a spiritual, guru, she came on and she said something right in her introduction about how I am whatever I'm thinking it is, it's not what I think it is, or something like that. Whatever I feel is going on is not really what's going on. And she repeated it twice. And the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then the second time I heard it, I actually stopped and was like, wow, like, is this referring to what's going on with my dog? And that really I'm stressing out about what it could be. And it's really not even that at all. And so it actually brought a tear to my eye because I was like, oh my gosh, the Lord is like listening to me and trying to tell me something. Well, we made it a vet appointment and we took him in, and it turns out that he had a pretty bad ear infection. To the point where the poor dog, like the vet kind of grabbed a hold of his ear and he yelped. And she obviously looked in there and she said, oh, yeah, it's a pretty bad ear infection. And what was interesting is that, he wasn't having any kind of head tilting. Usually animals have that when they have an inner ear infection. And none of that was going on, but he had this like balance issue. He had this confusion issue and all of that. So she ended up cleaning out his ear pretty good, put some, cleaning solution or some, ointment or something inside his ear, and then gave us some pain medication because she said that he was in some pain. I was like, wow. And he never whimpered, he never, growled, never did any of that. And so it was very eye-opening. And when he got home, I just burst into tears again for the fact that God was speaking to me. He was actually saying, whatever you think it is not what it really is. And I know that I was thinking awful things. I was thinking, if he was starting to get like dementia or a brain tumor, at the worst, I was like, oh my gosh, what is going to happen to this poor animal? But the Lord came to me and he spoke to me and said, whatever you think is going on is not what's really going on. And I know that that message was meant for me, and it made me so happy. And I have faith in the Lord, but as you walk your normal life and your normal things that you're doing, I always talk to God in the back of my head. I always have a discussion with him, and I know that he will make things work out. But sometimes when he pulls through, it's so hard to believe that he's actually speaking to you. and letting you know that things are going to work out and be fine. The dog seems to be much better. He's still a little like off, but you can tell that he's not in as much pain. And yeah, it's just the medication, he has to take for the next 2 weeks. So as the week goes on, I am sure that he is going to be so much better. So thank you, Lord, so much for coming into my life and giving me these messages that I need to hear right at the right moment, and you coming in and making things right just at the right time. I have so many cases where this happens in my life that I just had to come out and tell you something that happened recently, and the fact that it's amazing how God works. It really is. It is just amazing. Um, yeah, and then another thing happened the other day. I had found out that this temp agency that I had been working through at this company has recently closed in my area. And actually, the woman that worked there, she is my Mary Kay lady. And so I was getting some product from her, and she happened to tell me that the location of this temp agency had closed, and I hadn't heard anything about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? And so we spoke when I went to pick up my product, and she was like, oh, they're actually franchised locations, which I didn't even know that. And she's like, yeah, she owned the franchise and she just retired, and they're just closing up the office. They got absorbed with another local office that is probably maybe about 80 miles away. And so, yeah, they were just selling off, their supplies there and things like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, what happened? I thought that maybe she would have taken over the location because she has a lot of recruiting and HR background. And she's like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to work full time. And I said, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And so she ended up going to work for this woman who owned the franchise for her husband, because her husband has properties in the area that we live. And she was going to help him do his books or manage the properties or something. I was like, oh my gosh, the Lord works in mysterious ways. And she even said that. She's like, it's a blessing, everything worked out. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And yeah, she's, just said that God works in mysterious ways, and it's truly a blessing from God. And I was talking to her, and I almost started crying. I said, I'm almost going to start crying because I feel the same way. I feel that her and I were brought together again. I had known her for years past, buying Mary Kay product, and she had moved recently to my area and helped me get a position at the company that I'm with now. And it's just how amazing everything works full circle. That really God puts you in the exact place you need to be. And that's what her and I were talking about too, that, her and I got together again, reunited, and she ended up helping me and some other folks in the location there get me the job on a temporary basis, and then help me land the full-time job. And I couldn't be happier. I was telling her that I'm so excited about this opportunity. It just allows me more free time, more freedom, and that I wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. So it's just awesome that the Lord truly puts you in places where you need to be and watches out for you, and comes to your aid and knows what you want, knows what you need, and makes it all work out. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, he will make things work out to your favor. So I just wanted to come out and share some things that have happened in my life recently that are just all the works of God, all the blessings that he has given me. And even going back prior to the dog situation, the vacation that we were able to go on, we went to the Dominican Republic, first time we'd ever been there. And the that area of the world is just beautiful. The turquoise waters we got to experience. We got to experience a new culture, met some great people, and we were able to just have a great vacation at the price point that we have had in the past going to other places. And I know that that was the work of God too, just having us look at the price of that vacation right at the right time, book at the right time, and be able to experience that part of the world. So it's just awesome what the Lord can do for you if you just believe and have faith. And just, once you do that, I feel I'm learning how to manifest things into my life that I want, like the freedom that I want, vacations that I want, healthy animals, whatever, maybe sickness being, cured, so to speak. I don't know that I want to go that far yet, but something does work in your life when you believe and have faith the size of a mustard seed. So I just wanted to come out and share those details with you, and to say that I am back and I will be posting more. I want to get back into my screw tape letters book, talk about some of the letters that I have come across. And yeah, so hope this information was helpful. And yeah, I love sharing these personal experiences with you. Take care. Bye-bye.